Good morning, youth. I hope you are doing well. This is your midweek encouragement video. We're going to jump right in. We're in Proverbs chapter 8, and we're going to be starting in verse 12 this week. And this is actually going to pick up right where we left last week, talking about some of the blessings that we can experience when we are pursuing and seeking to live out and exist in godly wisdom. And so Proverbs chapter 8, starting in verse 12. And remember, this is Lady Wisdom, which is this character in Proverbs who is embodies the wisdom of God in Proverbs. It says, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is the hatred of evil. Pride and arrogance in the way of evil, and perverted speech I hate. I have counsel and sound wisdom. I have insight. I have strength. By me kings reign and rulers decree what is just. By me princes rule, and nobles, all who govern justly. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, in the paths of justice, granting an inheritance to those who love me and filling their treasuries. So I just want to note a few of the blessings that are described here in this small section. And the first is that being acquainted with godly wisdom develops prudence. It says that with wisdom dwell prudence, as well as knowledge and discretion. And these things, prudence and discretion and knowledge, when they are lived out, it will cause, and it leads to us being able not only to determine the difference between what is right and wrong, good and evil, and what is pleasing to God and what is not. But in time, it helps us to grow to love the things that God takes joy in, and to detest the things that are not things that God takes joy in. And so then, second here in these blessings is godly wisdom. And this is kind of this is cool. It says it's just as available to kings and princes and rulers as it is to the poor in the streets. Because remember, the presentation of Proverbs chapter 8 is that Lady Wisdom. It says, on the heights beside the way at the crossroads, she takes her stand by the gates, and at the entrance to the portals she cries aloud. And so the idea is that this godly wisdom is just as available to the person who has nothing, who is not in charge of anything, as it is to the kings and rulers and princes and authorities. And generally, they're going to produce similar results in both of those people's lives. They'll produce a blessing. So in a world, especially back then, where there wasn't really a middle class. There was the ruling class and the peasants, and maybe a few in between. This idea that godly wisdom, this wisdom from God Himself, is just as available to all, was a big deal. Third, wisdom leads most times. Remember, Proverbs is giving general wisdom, general wise advice for most occasions. It's not always a guarantee, but leads most of the time to real, lasting riches. And what I mean by that is, this is not saying that if you follow the wisdom of God, you're just going to get filthy rich. That's not the point. Because notice it says, of more value than choice silver, better than gold, even fine gold. This is not an instant thing either. It's not, well, if I pursue godly wisdom and to live out this wisdom, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and have all this. Rather, as we grow in discretion and we grow in prudence and we seek to walk in that wisdom and that righteousness, it is generally going to produce a blessing in our lives, because a person who is living those things out it is not going to be bogged down by the things of folly that we read about in chapter 7. And so when you're just in simply avoiding this evil way, this way that doesn't lead to pleasing God, even just avoiding that is going to help set a person up for success in just basic general blessing. They're going to have less trouble in life. And the fourth here, and I want to note in verse 21, it says that grants an inheritance to those who love me and filling their treasuries. There's something about when a person is walking in godly wisdom and they're seeking to live out the wisdom of God that they find through the scriptures, through the ministry of the Holy Spirit in their lives, that they're then allowed to extend that blessing to others, both through sharing that wisdom with them and through just actual sharing the blessings that they have received. And so these are just a few more blessings from wisdom. We're going to see some more next week. But I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your week. We had a blast at Fish helping out. We'll hope to return and do that. Regular youth group this week. We're going to be answering some of your guys' questions. I have the question bucket right here, and it's full. Well, it's not full, but it's got quite a bit in here. So we're going to be answering questions from our Worldview series this week. And if we get through them all, that's great. If not, we'll do 2 weeks of that. So I hope to see you guys Sunday. Love y'all. Have a good rest of your week.